Hi, I'm Sean from Make-Up Designory, and this is my friend Libby. Libby asked me to do her makeup, so Libby, what could I do for you today?
I would love to have that timeless look of Sade, with the sexy eyes and the big red full lips.
This is going to be super easy. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is prep Libby's face with Mud's face primer and the 940 brush. As a professional, I'm using Make-Up Designory's metal palette. Applying just a little bit of face primer. A little goes a long way. You could apply it with the finger or with a sponge, but I chose the 940 foundation brush. Start at the very top of the forehead and work your way down. Make sure you apply an even coat all over the entire face. When working under the eye, have your model look up and get right underneath the lash line. Now this is a silicone-based primer, so it slightly does a little filling and it gives a nice base for when you do the foundation. Now that Libby's face is prepped, let's get started on her base application. Libby has an olive undertone, so I grabbed the foundation palette number 2 and tried a few colors, YG 1, 2, and 3, and decided that YG 3 was her best base match. For sanitation, take your palette knife, dip it into your foundation, and apply it on a metal palette. To shear out the foundation, mix in a little bit of Make-Up Designory's face primer. Using the 940 brush, I'll tap into the primer and then the base, and that'll allow me to control the product. Okay, start from the top of the forehead and work your way down. One of the reasons why we sheared out the product is because Libby has really great skin, so we don't need a lot of coverage. And I'm taking really light strokes, just buffing the makeup into the skin. I'm controlling the amount of product by dipping into both the face primer and the foundation. Make sure you have a nice base on the lids, and that'll prep the area for your eye treatment. Libby, could you look up for me? I'm gonna get right under her lash line. We're going to use a little bit of concealer under her eyes, but for now, I'm just looking to see how much the base actually covers. I'm not using a lot of product either because you don't want it to start caking under the eyes. In this area, we may have to correct with a little bit of red corrector. Again, I'm just seeing what the foundation covers. I'm using a little bit more base in that area with the stippling technique just to get more coverage. Okay, I'm gonna go on your eyelids now. Close. Start in the inner corner and work your way out. I'm taking light strokes. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. Really gentle around the eye area. Bring your foundation down to the neck so you can tie everything in together. You don't want to see any floating heads. Now on Libby, she has a pretty even canvas, but there's a little discoloration. We're going to correct that with a deep brown corrector. Let me show you how it's done. Start in the inner corner. I'm just stippling. See how that's starting to brighten up that corner? It's diminishing the shadow and the discoloration. And once the concealer's on there, we'll buff it out. Only conceal the areas that are discolored. You don't want to drag it all in this area because we don't really need a lot of correction right in this area. And you can just see that life coming back in. It's diminishing the deep brown. And again, you could use this as a corrector to define your lip line. This will help define the labial roll. Okay, Libby has a blank canvas. Now we're going to go on and start contouring and shaping the face. I'm using a cream color to contour Libby's face. This is our foundation palette number 2. We're going to use the DW5. I'm not using a cheek color, so the warmth in the foundation is going to take its place. Take your metal palette knife, scrape some of the product, apply it onto your palette. I'm using the same 940 brush. Dip into the product. Remember to build your foundation. A little goes a long way. It's rich in pigment. Start at the very top of the ear, and you can feel the cheekbone. You want to hit the center of the cheekbone, and you want to drag it down to create a really nice angle and to create lift. Create a soft edge by lightly using small brush strokes towards the eye. It'll soften up your line. We're going to angle her cheek just a little bit. Give a little bit of shadow towards the back here. We're going to help create more of an oval face. Sade has a very oval face. And when you contour your nose, you want to make sure you have it straight down. And she's a little wide towards the bridge. We're just going to narrow that. Make sure you carry it down. You want to drag the shadow down. And you don't want really hard lines. We're going to soften that up in just a second. Let's set the makeup with Buttercream Loose Powder. To set Libby's makeup, I chose the Buttercream Loose Powder with the 510 fan brush. For sanitation, add a little to the lid and a light dusting all over the face. Start at the forehead and just light sweeping motions. Make sure to set the makeup on the eyelids. We're not using a lot of product, very minimal. Now let's play with the color.